Okay, all right. We are live. We are live, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing good. I have to post my live stream and then we will get right into it. Hopefully, everybody had a fantastic weekend. I hope all of you caught my video with Brian Berletic. If you didn't, you can find that on my YouTube page after this live stream. I had a good conversation with him. That was on Saturday, I believe. And I don't think I've done a live stream since Monday. So we got quite a bit to talk about here. We're going to talk about the Gaza ceasefire, working out exactly how we thought it would. We are also going to talk about some events happening in Ukraine, in and around Ukraine. We have some negotiation updates, if you can, call it that. And we got some other stuff going on. Don't forget, while we're waiting for everybody to get in here, if you guys want to tell me where you're listening from, we have Azam in Pakistan, of course. Welcome in, Azam. Good to see you. Indiana checking in. Nice. Sicily, beautiful. Greetings from Germany. Salutations from DC. We got people in from all over the world today, guys. Keep posting those up. Keep it coming. And we will get into it in just a second. Greetings from communist UK. Yeah, you guys got some issues over there. You got some problems coming up. Tucson, Arizona, St. Petersburg, Northern Italy, Portugal. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Cork, Ireland. Awesome. That's one of those places where I wouldn't mind dying. Just dying in Cork, Ireland. A little bit of a rain, a little drizzle, bleeding out on some nice Irish farm. Doesn't get much better than that. Denver, Colorado, Mexico. Lisbon, Portugal again. It's bad. Digital IDs are coming, brother. They're coming everywhere. The UK is just going to be the first one to adopt it because what are you going to do about it? But it's going to be everywhere. We're going to have a social credit system just like China. It's the only way we can keep up with China. So yeah, no, that's definitely coming. Get ready for it. We getting ready for part 2.0 in Vietnam or in Venezuela? Are we getting Vietnam part 2 in Venezuela? Potentially. I don't think it's going to be like an actual ground invasion. I doubt there will be any sort of U.S. troop presence on the ground. It'll just be, sabotage and strike campaign, and then support whatever local uprising the CIA has ready to go. Yeah. Oh, United Kingdom. Nice. Edmonton, Canada. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome in, everybody. This is episode number 10 of Casual Calibration. My philosophy now with this YouTube page is I'm going to sort of do live streams once or twice a week. It's sort of a place for me to get in here and talk to all of you, communicate, have a good chat sessions. I might do more live streams too. They might just be a little shorter or something like that. And then a lot of my videos are going to be recorded. So the interviews, for the most part, will be recorded, and my map videos are going to be recorded, and they tend to do a lot better. They get a lot more eyes and everything. But I do like these live streams because I do like to communicate with you guys, and I do like to talk in long form, and that's kind of hard to do in a recorded video. So Scott likes to gossip. I like to gossip. I like to babble. I like to snicker and snoodle. I do all sorts of different little sneaky things. So, all right, let's go ahead and start talking about the Gaza ceasefire. We'll just rock it off with that. Um, we had talked about this in the previous live stream, that the Trump peace plan was starting to go into effect, and basically what I said was, first off, Benjamin Netanyahu is not in a position to have peace. If you guys were paying attention, his court date was again postponed for his corruption cases and stuff in country. So this is a big farce to keep the war going. He needs the war. He needs a war somewhere happening. He needs Israel to be threatened so that he is indisposed and can't be criminally or held to justice in a criminal court. Not that he even would necessarily. I don't know. I don't know what the Israeli court system is looking like. I don't know what the outcome or outshoot of that would even be. But it's clear why he needs the wars to keep going, and he's not going to stop what is happening in Gaza. His entire administration, his entire cabinet, whatever you want to call it, is fully on board with the ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza. This is part of their party's like philosophy, right? Not allowing a two-state solution, eventually annexing the West Bank and Gaza. That's the goal. That's going to stay the goal. And just like we've seen in southern Lebanon, Israel doesn't even adhere to their own ceasefires. They have already broken the ceasefire on multiple occasions. I think minutes or hours after the ceasefire went into effect, like 6 Israelis were killed for just crossing some imaginary line in the sand. And they were apparently warned and then shot. So the ceasefire never really went into effect for Palestinians outside of the bombing stopping temporarily. And then yesterday, there was some event. We got zero coverage of it. What it sounds like is that the Israelis rolled over some sort of mine or previously left explosive that ended up killing some of the men. But it was not a Hamas attack. Hamas denied responsibility or involvement in said attack, which they never do. They always immediately claim responsibility. So this was just another excuse to bomb more people, kill more people, destroy more of Gaza. And that's exactly what they did. They hit, I think they dropped some 135 bombs, basically. I can't remember what word they used, munitions or something like that, on the Gaza Strip. And then they used the words that they were testing the ceasefire. Whatever. This is Israel we're talking about. They're just snakes. It's just how you have to think about the U.S. foreign policy in general, but Israel specifically. I mean, they're having a superiority complex, and then also having the U.S. at your back is going to be a pretty dangerous combination. And they are cleaning house. And I told you guys this was not going to change. The situation in Gaza is not one that is just going to resolve itself. This is not going to work itself out. There's not going to be some peace deal. There's been peace deals in the past. There's been peace deals in this war in Gaza. There have been ceasefires in this war that have not worked out, right? Why would this one be any different? It's not. It was clear before they even agreed upon it. And basically all of the ceasefire has come out to is a prisoner exchange between Hamas and Israel, which is, as we've seen from the Ukraine war, the easiest diplomatic agreement to make with your enemy. So it's what it looks like to me is exactly like what we're seeing in Ukraine, the bare minimum during some organized moment of peace, which will then be followed up by resumed fighting and killing and ethnic cleansing of Gaza. So this is what we talked about. There were 1 to 2 Hamas attacks, but they were supposedly not in communication with Hamas command. I don't know. That doesn't even sound like real to me. That sounds like something that the Israeli government or an Israeli news outlet put out there just to kind of cover their own asses. Oh, it was Hamas, but it wasn't Hamas instructed by command. whatever, dude. It's just a crock of shit. And then they drop 135 bombs because of that fake attack. Like, come on, it's nonsense. They're pushing a thing, and yeah, no, again, Hamas came out and denied their involvement in the attack. If I see that, that's fine. But again, it doesn't warrant the response. It doesn't warrant breaking the ceasefire. And the Israelis have already been breaking the ceasefire since before this moment occurred. So I'm not in a position to really really listen to that kind of. I just think it's nonsense. With Brian, you talked about reading policy papers. Is there a logical explanation? Why do they make these public? Because I think it's just because they're confident. That all of the think tanks, they never say that these are their policy papers. They never, it's kind of like Project 2025, right? Trump never said that he wanted to do anything in Project 2025, and then he did all of it, right? That's like the Rand papers. It's not like the government saying, these are our policy papers. This is what we are going to do. Here you go. You have these think tanks, these organizations behind the scenes, the Institute for the Study of War or whatever. And these are the groups, that are behind Victoria Nuland and the US State Department and regime change all over the world. They give the ideas, they present the options. Hey, look at this. This is what you guys should do. We wrote a whole dossier basically on weakening Russia, overextending Russia, and then the US government follows that exactly, but it's never US policy, right? So that's how you have to manage it. You just read the policy papers, and if the US does exactly what the policy papers say, word for word for word for word, you can come to the conclusion that they are probably following those policy papers. Yeah, and also here's the thing about when we're talking about these attacks is that we literally saw Hamas executing people from their own organization because of their Israeli ties. We saw that one journalist got killed in those exchanges in between the gangs in Gaza, which resulted again in those executions by Hamas in public. So you're talking about, for me, the way it looks to me is that Israel wanted an excuse to drop a bunch of bombs, and whatever they got, they used it. And when you have all of this subdivision or subterfuge going on within Gaza, in Hamas, you have traitors that are working with the Israeli government, right? At what point is it a Hamas attack, and at what point is it a former Hamas member who is being paid by the Israeli government to do something, right? Which is what we saw immediately following the ceasefire. All right. So that's the situation in the Middle East. Again, be on the lookout because we're definitely not done with Iran either. Iran is still on the agenda. That's going to be a focal point. But yeah, just don't expect things to change rapidly in Gaza. Don't expect there to be peace or restoration. I think that we will see this continuing by December. I think that this whole thing is going to break down, and it's just not even going to be relevant by that time. And it's very interesting that Trump has very quickly moved on, right? He's not, I mean, he sometimes says that he achieves peace, but now he's focused on Ukraine out of nowhere, right? He just bounces around. This is what I was talking about chaos. With the US thrives in the chaos. We control the world. And when the world is all chaotic, we can pick and choose where that chaos is happening and manipulate that chaos to our advantage. So just you got to just follow. You have to follow what's happening, not what's being said specifically. All right. Okay, I have a short little bit about Russian energy infrastructure strikes in Ukraine. So I'm going to bring that up. Rob Lee posted this, and I thought that it was very interesting because it kind of shows what I had been talking about for some time. Okay, so we are over on Twitter now, and I just wanted to talk about this. Pravda.ua had a couple of different articles up where they were talking about Russian infrastructure strikes. So the Russians are knocking out Ukraine's energy system region by region. First, there are local attacks on the front line and border regions, most notably Sumy and Chernihiv oblasts, which are suffering the most at present. Kharkov, Odessa, Nikolaev, and Dnipropetrovsk oblasts are also being struck less intensely, but still regularly. Across all these areas, the Russians are methodically trying to destroy the energy system in its entirety, local generation transmission through major Ukonegro, Ukrainian state-owned Ukraine's state-owned electricity transmission system operator, substations, and even distribution within large cities via oblast operators substations. In August and September, these strikes were conducted mainly by drones, typically around 10 UAVs per target, although in some cases those numbers rose to as many as 40. Another change is that the Russians no longer launch one large wave at once, as before. Instead, they strike in series, sending a few drones every hour. Ukrainian power engineers say that they have not seen this tactic until now. Drone strikes are followed by heavy attacks on generation facilities, including the use of ballistic missiles. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This is what I've been talking about for years. I made some tweets in 2022 where I talked about the Russians cutting off the Ukrainian energy grid, like cutting off power. It's a very realistic thing that the Russians could do, and they regularly have chose to not pursue a aggressive posture towards the Ukrainian energy grid. And this is something that I haven't necessarily disagreed with. I've talked about this a lot, how it is definitely a political game, right? That Putin is playing. At any given time, he can control the escalation ladder when it comes to electricity in Ukraine. He can turn it off as he pleases. If the Ukrainians start attacking Russian energy infrastructure, and I'm talking about in 2022, 2023, 2024, this was a means to get them to stop. It was also a means, I just see it as a political pressure tool that Putin was using very lightly. He was not going about these strikes in the way that we just discussed, day by day by day, continuously hitting these generation and substation facilities and doing incredible attrition over, 2 months instead of every couple weeks sending very expensive cruise missiles to hit limited targets. Another aspect of this entire campaign is that the Russian means are so much greater now. As we just read, we have 40 drones for a single location. Compared to in 2022, when a multi-million-dollar cruise missile had to be fired from Russian strategic aviation, make it through layered air defense, and then strike the target. Now you have very cheap Iskanders, very cheap Garand drones, glide munitions, plus glide munitions that are now rocket assisted. So they go 120 kilometers. We've seen these munitions strike Poltava and Dnipropetrovsk now. So the game has changed, and the Russian posture has also changed. And so part of my tweet here, and I'll just read this because this is exactly what I've been saying. I said, so it's different from 2022, 2023, and 2024. So the Russians can improve and intensify their attacks, crippling the Ukrainian grid. I was told they had no escalation capability. Pro-Russians like to say the gloves are still on, and they get laughed at regularly for this. If you are paying attention, this is what they mean. Everyone mistook Russia's previous infrastructure campaigns as the peak of what Russia could accomplish. Those people are fools and should be rightly ignored in the future. Russia is demonstrating how they can control the escalation ladder. Ask yourself, does Kiev still have operational sewage systems? A couple of garons would change that, but for some reason, when they flush the toilet, it magically vanishes. Now ask yourself, could the gloves come off more? And this is just sort of like trying to get you to think about it, because I hear this constantly. First off, I hear pro-Russians say, oh, Putin's going to take the gloves off any day now, which he could technically. I don't think that that's like a realistic thing for them to say. I don't think that there's a ton more that Putin could do militarily. He could do a lot more in terms of like deep strikes, but that has huge political risks on the back of it. It has monstrous risks when it comes to future occupation of Ukraine. So I don't think that that is necessarily the way to go forward, but there is definitely escalation potential, right? Putin could turn off the lights if he wanted to. He could attack nuclear substation, or the substations that support the nuclear facilities in Ukraine. He could potentially do that, right? He could hit lines from Europe into Ukraine. He could do that. And like I said in this tweet, the fact that sewage hasn't been targeted, the fact that day-to-day life for Ukrainians is, respectable and the conditions are livable, says something about how the Russians are persecuting this war. So thank you for listening to that little spiel. I did want to talk about another thing actually on my Twitter, and that was this new FT article. Now, I don't have an FT subscription, so I can't actually read the whole thing for you guys. But I do have this portion, and this is where Zelensky, this is when Zelensky was in Washington talking to Trump. So I'm just going to read this really quick. This is from, I don't even know how to say his name. Fayutsk News? I don't know. Trump urged Zelensky to accept Russia's terms to end the war, warning Putin would destroy Ukraine if he refused. Donald Trump urged Vladimir Zelensky to accept Russia's terms for ending the war in a volatile White House meeting on Friday. Every time he goes, it seems to be volatile in Washington. It's a very weird relationship they have. You would think that such a great European ally and such a great leader like Zelensky would be welcomed with warm arms, and it wouldn't be an issue every single time he meets with the proxier. Warning that Vladimir Putin had said he would destroy Ukraine if it did not agree. I don't know when Putin has ever said he would destroy Ukraine. That does not sound like Putin at all. Has Putin ever one time said, I will destroy Ukraine? No, he says Ukraine is our brothers. We want Ukraine to be a part of the Russian Federation. We have cultural and historical ties. That does not sound like Vladimir Putin in the slightest. So that's your first red flag. The meeting between the U.S. and Ukrainian president descended many times into a shouting match, with Trump cursing all the time. People familiar with the matter said. So again, what do we take away from this? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. And I hate it, because I wish you could sit here and say, oh, this shows a split. This shows signs that things aren't working out the way you want it to. Or is it theater? Or is it just theater? I mean, it might be like real. They might not like each other, but is the relationship changing at all because of this? Is anything on the battlefield changing? Did the U.S. stop giving its satellite intelligence and strike data to Ukraine? No. Did we stop sending artillery shells? No. Have we stopped sending drone parts so they can, make their FPV drones that are basically keeping the line together at this point? No. So nothing changed. They had a shouting match. This is what you guys need to start paying attention to and learning to ignore, because this is the kind of stuff that will get emotional dummies hooked very easy. Hooked, right? It is dummy magnets. Is the only way I can explain it. People want to believe so bad in specific things. People want to believe that Trump is going to do the right thing for America. People want to believe that Zelensky actually wants to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. People want to believe that Europe actually wants peace in Europe and not a war that they are currently supporting and pushing. But those things aren't true, and reality sucks. And this is just, until we see something change, this is, again, just a great little bit of acting from one of the greatest actors who has ever led our country, right? He can sway public opinion and emotion so easily with so few words and such dramatic pause. That's all it is. And you just have to, just got to learn to ignore it. Because you know what he said 2 weeks ago? This is what he said 2 weeks ago. If you guys wanted to know what he literally said 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe, this is it. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, and the original borders from where the war started, it is very much an option. Oh, patience and the financial support of Europe, in particular NATO, the original borders. Yeah. So that's what he said 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he learned about how Russia is economically collapsing and Ukraine will take back all of its territory. And then today he's telling Zelensky that he has to give up territory and that it's over. You're listening to a retarded monkey. That's what this guy is. He doesn't know shit about anything. And that's another thing that I've come to understand about Trump. Even when he's talking about sports, like, he doesn't know sports. It's so weird. Like, you would think that the guy would just have some like basic common sense about sports or something. Nope. You think that he would have common sense about the war that he is propagating. Nope. Doesn't care. He is just the perfect distraction, the perfect deflector from any and all U.S. foreign policy. It's perfect. I can't be mad at somebody with game so strong like that, to be honest. I wish I could manipulate like this. It's the gaslighting is at a whole different level. There are reports that part of Kherson City were captured by Russian troops. Even Ukraine reported this. Yeah, so I can take you guys over to the map. We can talk about that. And I'll talk about that Kherson thing in just 1 second. Let me get to this other question real fast. Send me to Ukraine with Taco Bell, and I will take the sewage system down. Jokes aside, thanks, brother. That's funny. Yeah, no, I know, bro. I think that, okay, when I was a kid, I used to flush everything down the toilet. And I say I was a kid. I was probably like 10. It's not really like a good time to be doing this. But I remember I flushed a bunch of ear cleaners down the toilet, and they like stuck on the plumbing like this and made like a thing. And then I flushed a whole orange down the toilet, and the toilet stopped working. And my dad made me take off the toilet and take it outside, and we cleaned it out, and it was taught me a lot of valuable lessons, guys. First and foremost, don't flush oranges down the toilet. That just made me think of that. I don't know why, but that made me think that we had picked up the whole toilet and took it out, and I saw that orange down there, and I knew I was in trouble. I knew it. I was hoping that it wasn't my orange that blocked up the toilet. Well, that's funny. I almost started crying there. Waste of a good orange. No, it was the proper disposal of a terrible orange. I remember it had just one of those oranges that we got, and then nobody ate it, and it sat there for too long, and it was huge too. But when I opened it, it was pulled away from the walls of the orange. Okay, I'm done talking about this orange. I'm done talking about it. It was dry and gross. I didn't want to eat it. All right. Let's get back to this question, the Kherson City question. We'll go over to the map. We can also talk about some of the updates on the map if we want to. My update video will come out tomorrow. I just didn't have time to record it today. Very, very busy. Kherson. So yeah, there were some reports. This is called Quarantine Island right here. So this area is supposedly completely clear of like civilians, and this is where they claim the Russians may have landed, which is not an impossibility. Remember, I talked about the Dnieper River being much lower now. I don't know how it looks downstream past Novokhovka, right? I don't know how it looks down here because they haven't updated this section. But as you can see right here, that looks a lot drier already. So I don't know. I don't know how different the river is down here, but there is a possibility that some of these areas are much easier to cross and to get to keep logistically supplied. Not saying that this is that area, but this area has a lot of infrastructure and cover. So if the Russians were able to get over here, they would be able to defend themselves much more easily than, say, like down here, where they're sitting in some little boathouse on the edge of the river and getting hit by drones or artillery or whatever. If the Russians are able to get into one of these areas and secure one of these like blocks right here, and then have logistics coming across, I mean, it's going to be difficult. But with drone logistic deliveries and stuff like that, I think you could probably keep a bridgehead open, especially because the Ukrainians in this region are so weak, so weak. But I will not be putting that on my map until I have some concrete proof of that happening. We're getting reports, yes, but I mean, basically, what I would need to map would be multiple consecutive geolocations or very, very reliable sources showing it and mapping it in that way. So, yeah. Thank you for your question, though. Okay. All right. I'll go over a couple of the updates on the map. And then other than that, I think I'm kind of done. Kind of talked about what I wanted to talk about today. Guys, watch Holyai. This is the crossroad village I was talking about. The Russians are making multiple kilometer advances in this direction all the time. This last one is pretty significant. They've reached the Yanchora River right here and crossed it, actually. So they are now on the the western bank of the Yancho River. They are also on the eastern bank of the Yancho River over Poltavka, which has now been fully captured. So the Russians are very quickly going to move in on Holyai, which will act as like a Velika Novosilka, where the Russians will be able to expand. We also have reports of Russian armored attacks, convoy attacks in this area. So we don't know how those worked out. According to the Ukrainians, they were all destroyed before they even made it to location. So who knows? That could very possibly be the situation, but we just don't know at the current time. And then moving up to Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk has seen some major movements. Most importantly, basically the entire southern half of the city below the railway line has been captured. Russian forces have also moved into the railway station area and are present here. And then over here, north of the railway station or railway line, Russian forces have moved into these warehouse buildings right here. So Pokrovsk is now beginning to collapse. It is the end of the defense of the city. You're going to see the backside of this pocket quickly close up. You should see Sukyar, Lizivka, these areas close up pretty rapidly here. And there are already reports that Russians are in the western or the eastern portions of Minharad. So basically, this entire pocket is going to be coming to an end, and it should have already come to an end. I can't believe the Ukrainians were trying to force men into another fucking pocket. I don't get it, but I don't suspect they have much behind it. So lesser of two evils to try to keep this pocket open. Up here in the Drobopila area, Russian forces are again expanding this breakthrough that occurred in August. Russian forces have entered Konstantinivka over here. And then Liman is now basically in an encirclement. If we go and click this, you can see the orange represents the Seversky Donets River, which is behind Liman. Russian forces control all of the high ground to the north of Liman. Besides Stavki, there's a little bit of high ground right in Stavki that the Russians don't have. And then over here, you can see that the lines of communication and logistics from Izum and from the north up here have now been cut by Russian advances into the village of Yorova. So Liman is now in a tactical encirclement, and the Russians are very, very close to Liman over here in the forested area to the east. I think that Liman is going to fall pretty quickly just because it's so difficult for the Ukrainians to keep this area supplied. They have to cross the river, and Liman is already on the low ground, so the Russians are just going to be looking down on the city the entire time. I think infiltrations from this side are going to occur, and then basically everything north of the river is just going to fall to the Russians, kind of like we saw over here in the forest. And then moving up to Kupiansk, the backside of the Kupiansk pocket looks like it's beginning to weaken and should close. And then Kupiansk itself hasn't seen a ton of movement as the Russians are just consolidating their positions. And there's still some fighting going on down here in the southern edge of the city. Some of this is like kind of gray zone-ish. Remember, I always say on my map, I don't have gray zone. So just consider the first like half kilometer of any area of the front line to be gray zone, where there could be some fluidity between Russian and Ukrainian positions, especially now that the Ukrainians are weakening so tremendously. And then over here in the Vovchansk area, Russian forces have gotten past most of the defenses in the southern half of the city and are going to wrap around and finish off the rest of Vovchansk now. So this is going to create an opening to push towards Prikotone, which is sort of the Holyai or Orahiv of this northern Kharkov region, which from there, the Russians can control this entire Seversky Donets River pocket, if you will. All right, guys. If you guys have something you want to talk about, we can talk about whatever. This is free time, but remember, if you have to have the stick, the talking stick. Kupiansk, Sukiar. If you guys have questions, go ahead and get some questions in. I'm gonna see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about on Twitter. I don't think so. Just a lot of Ukrainians sitting in pockets right now, guys. What's up with Zelensky's 18-year-old OnlyFans girl? Yeah, just a guy. What is the deal? Why can't guys be guys, right? Like, why do we got to be so critical? So what? A dude reposts an OnlyFans girl's Instagram post instead of liking it. He's got boomer thumbs, guys. Let a guy be a guy. Like, yeah, seriously. Get a brother, please. Just goon. Like, is it so difficult? God, guys, listen. I'll say a lot of things about Zelensky. He's getting his own people killed. He's selling out his own countrymen. He's a no good proxy of the United States. But let a guy look at some titties every now and then. I mean, come on. Is it? Bro is married. Whoa, why are we bringing up relationship status and stuff? It's an Instagram post. He might not have even meant to do it. He was just scrolling, clicked it. God, it's just always got to be like, oh, he's married. Oh, he's the president of the country. Put this down a little bit. Do you think the North Korean part of the war done, or do you think we will see more of them? I doubt it. I think they kind of proved themselves to the Russians. They followed through on their end of the whole sovereignty, territorial sovereignty aspect of the North Korean Russian military agreement. And now, if North Korea's sovereignty is threatened, Russia will come and help them. Hopefully they do. An OnlyFans simp cannot lead a nation. Okay, hear me out. What if he's not simping? If you're a president of Ukraine, you have billions of dollars, probably millions for sure, right? He's got some money stashed away for sure. Hear me out. Is it simping if you repost her thing and make her like a ton of money, and then you guys work out a deal or something? Like, it's not really simping. I think that's using his power and position for good. What do you think the new weapons the Russians are about to announce? I don't know. Potentially the long-ranged glide bombs, the glide bombs with jet boosters, which creates a new threat for the Ukrainians that they don't appear very capable of solving. So I thought there were still 20,000 North Koreans there. No, I don't think there were ever really 20,000 North Koreans there. That sounds like a ton. That sounds like way more than I ever thought were in the region. I thought at most 5,000 at any given time. What is your take on the Budapest meeting? I think it's a waste of time. What's going to change? Zelensky literally just said he's not going to give up territory. So unless that changes, there's absolutely no point in another Trump-Putin meeting or anything like that. It doesn't make any sense. To me personally, I didn't think Alaska made any sense though. So, I'm just a pessimist. Budapest. How's Putin even going to come to Budapest? They're just going to let him fly into the country. They're going to let him come in over Romania or something. It's their own made-up rules. Ooh, we can't let him through unless you just fucking do, and then it doesn't matter, right? That's sort of the situation. Hey, I'm doing a live stream. I can't talk right now. It's okay. Everybody just knows that you call me in my middle of a live stream now, so not very good. No, I won't tell them that. All right. That wasn't even a real phone call. This isn't even a real phone. Don't pay attention. I think our boy Scott has a secret OnlyFans account. Whoa. It's not secret. Link in bio. But I am sympathetic to the OnlyFans cause. I should start an OnlyFans. I'd make so much more money than anything I'm doing currently. I'm losing money doing this, but OnlyFans, I could probably make a bunch more money. This is why you're cool, Scott. Why? Because I talk about OnlyFans? Did your mommy just call you? No, dude, my mom doesn't love me. I've disappointed her perpetually since I was like, oh man, when did 5th grade start? I think 4th grade was the first year they were like worried about me because I started to not pay attention in school. And then 5th grade, it really went downhill. So no, my mom doesn't call me. She writes me a letter every Christmas and sometimes on the 4th of July. But I don't have a mailing address, so I don't know where those letters go. Was she asking you if she wanted Chipotle? No. That would have been sweet, though. What the F is happening in Kherson? Nothing right now. Don't worry about it. If something's happening in Kherson, I promise you I'm going to make a whole thumbnail. You'll know all about it the second it happens. I will deliver all of that news to you. There are reports that the Russians may have landed on the quarantine island in Kherson, but we do not have any confirmation of them remaining there or anything like that. Pekka's going to clip that. Pekka's watching this. Hey, Pekka, if you're watching this, you should probably stop. Never mind. never mind. I had 50 things I could have said right there. 50 things. Are you enjoying the government shutdown? I didn't even know it was happening. Nothing changes. It's that again is another fake thing. The government shutting down is not real. Like, that's not a real thing. It's so stupid. Just in general, you're a cool and funny guy. Oh, I thought you were saying I was cool because of the OnlyFans stuff. I was really hoping that that was what was making me cool, but no. I'm definitely not a cool guy. I sit in my house and I talk on my computer to strangers around the internet. I wouldn't rather be doing anything else, boys. Wouldn't rather be doing anything else. Mommy issues and OnlyFans, classic. I don't have mommy issues. We're very content. I'm not bugging about it. I know what I did to disappoint her. This is all very rational. This is not a situation where I'm somehow being put upon or anything. Also, it's not true, so there's that. But the only reason you would do that, no, it's not. What post are you talking about? Which one? which post are you talking about, AMK? Which one, dude? I don't know what you're talking about. That post doesn't exist, dude. Just kidding. It does exist, and I will use it to my advantage in the future. How difficult is it to integrate foreign fighters into combat forces? Depends on how those foreign fighters are trained. Are they U.S. forces being integrated into another military that operates under NATO standards? Pretty easy. Are you trying to integrate a Chinese soldier into the Venezuelan military? Probably going to be a little bit more difficult, just because. It really just depends. It depends on the quality of the foreign fighters, and it depends on the quality of the military they're integrating into. The lower the quality of the foreign fighter, the more difficult it is going to be to integrate. The higher the quality of the military that they're integrating into, the more difficult it is going to be to integrate. If you have a very, very qualified fighter integrating into a very, very weak military, it is not going to take very long. So it just depends. So you're homeless with Wi-Fi and a background and a quiet place to record. You have to. I'm doing one of those for the Kherson thing. What is your best buddy David doing lately? I don't know. That dude is muted. He was talking about 8 Russian encirclements last time I saw anything from him. So I don't know. Sometimes he's in my comment section, but is the government shutting down even legal? Kinda. It's like, it's not really shut down. It's just like they're pretending that it's shut down and they can't do government spending stuff. So, all right. The Kherson one, you know which one? No, I don't know which. I don't know what you're talking about. What's your PR deadlift? I've hit 585 before. Yeah, I've hit 585, I think. Yeah, 585. But Recently, I can hit 5 plates. That's what I do like every time I go to the gym. My top set is like 3 to 5 usually at 5 plates. You can actually see where he removed the sword too. Icon. Why is David such a disgusting slob? I want to clean out my eyes with soap every time I see him. Because, well, hey, listen, there's just people that aren't as, first off, genetically gifted. There's a lot of people that grow up in households where they're just not taught proper nutrition and how to take care of themselves. People, things happen when you get older. You have kids, you get lazy. I mean, he's definitely not doing it. You know, he's not putting in any effort to change it. So it is what it is. Like, I don't think I could ever even get to that point. So there's definitely like a genetic aspect to it. Like, I think I would literally have a heart attack before I got to the size that he's at. My body just couldn't handle it. I just don't have the genetics for that. So pounds? Yes, 580. I don't know what that is, like 250 kilo. Hold on. Let me do some mental maths. Hold on. kg to lbs 250 270. Yeah, it's like 270, like 270 kg, like 6'7". Get out of here! Shut my door. 265, Scott. There we go.
Hi, people.
Don't say anything to them. Get out of here. That's a fake person. That's not a real person. Don't buy into that. Bro, that's half a car. Yeah, if you're driving some small pussy-ass European car, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've posted that lift before. If you guys don't follow me, go follow my secret Telegram where I post random stuff. I'm not going to tell you where it is or how to find it. It's a secret. Scott's Mossad girlfriend, bro, I wish she was Jewish. I wish she was just so Jewish, because then she would just like tell me all of her problems and I wouldn't have to guess. And she probably would be a sweet CPA and I'd do really good on my taxes. Unfortunately not. I would also have career opportunities if she was Mossad. That'd be so sick, dude. What am I doing, boys? I need to reevaluate, reassess. Scott's Mossad handler stepped in and reminded him of the Epstein files. Release them. I'm on them. I'm in those Epstein files. Release them. I want the world to know. Let's see. She could bake you some cookies. She could fix my cell phone for me in secret. And then at some undetermined time and location, my phone might explode. She is not Latina. Not in any way that would grant her cooking skills. Yeah, that's it. This is what I'm talking about. The money I could be making right now if I just shilled. Guys, if I just shilled so hard, like if I turned this way, if I did the live stream from this direction, it'd be crazy. It would be crazy how much money I could make, boys. It would be insane. But I couldn't do that. Because I would rather skin myself alive than talk about something that I don't believe in. Oh, could you imagine getting on here every day? Like me and AMK were talking about this in messages. We were talking about how the pro-Ukrainian community on YouTube has like 400,000 views per video, like Denny. And I'm like, bro, he's been nothing but wrong consistently forever. How are there still people watching it? It's just boomers, I think. I think it's just boomers, and it just pops up in their feed because it gets pushed, and it's impressive. I wish I could make that much money doing this and just not ever putting any effort. I just have to make sweet, crazy thumbnails. Did you wear a chicken suit during the No Kings protest? I'm confused. What is a No Kings protest? Are they protesting like Donald Trump? Like, is that the whole thing? Is that the No Kings? Because who were all of those No King protests funded by? Probably another oligarch or king-like figure, right? Was it like Soros or something? No kings except the king that funded this No Kings rally. Let's go. Whoa. The nose is German, first off. Too muscular to be a proper tribe member. Pretty much similar with military summary channel as well. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm not going to lie because these things are actually important. I'm trying to give you information that actually matters. And if I'm just exaggerating it and I'm lying to you guys about it, how does that make it good? Like, how are you going to benefit from that? And I actually care about you guys understanding what's going on. Scott, should I call ICE on my Ukrainian friend Charlie because he killed me in Minecraft and took my diamonds? Yes. That's a valid clapback response. I don't get it. I live in rural. No protests here. Saturday traffic was kind of bad. Everyone was hauling hay. Yeah, no, that's a good life. Just stick with that. Don't just focus on hay. If you can make your whole life just that, you'll be so much happier than everybody else. I'm studying, so I feel very tempted to write silly shit in chat. No, go study. You guys need to study for your finals. Yeah, Soros amongst others. So here's the thing, guys. No protest is organic, natural. They don't exist. It has to be organized, funded, and managed. So every Maidan, every coup you see, the Hong Kong protest, the protests in Nepal, Maidan, what's happening in Georgia, what's happening in all of these different places is literally managed chaos. That's what it is. OnlyFans is for simps. Not if I'm posting. Am I a simp if I'm posting on OnlyFans? Make it make sense, dude. Everything is fake and gay. It's what do I do when the draft starts? Dodge that motherfucker. Dodge it. Go to Canada. Or Mexico. They'll never expect you running to Mexico. Just go to Mexico, my friend. No need to study. All questions are multiple choice in the U.S. That is correct. B. B is the correct answer. B. All questions are multiple choice in the United States. Yes, correct. Only men use OnlyFans. So if you post, you'll be posting for men, just so you know. You think I'm posting for the women? Oh, what are we? What? No, I'm strictly posting for the boys. Come on, come on. You think I want slutty women money? No, God, no, it's the homies, okay? Wait. You thought I was posting for women? I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time, guys. These questions are fun. Okay, real question this time. I think it might be a fake question coming. Oh no, it is real. Do you think that Israeli-backed groups in Gaza are anything to worry about? I think that they're causing trouble. I don't know if they're anything to worry about. They're just another tool. I think what you should probably be worried about is like the 2,000-pound bombs falling on people's heads. Like that's probably the primary concern there. Should Russia annex Kharkov? I don't know if it's a question of should or not. I think they will. Women do not spend on pornography. You guys, you keep doing all these generalizations. They do spend money on it. It's just in what form, right? If I were to present myself in a slutty novel, I would crush it with women. If I presented myself in some taboo, smutty movie, and I was some billionaire who liked to spank a girl, I would kill it with women. I'd probably sell more copies of that book than the Bible. So no, they do. It's just not the same kind of porn that men buy. It's a different kind of pornography. So. Do you A, support Israel, B, support Israel, C, support Israel, D, support Israel? C. Israel question. Trust me, Israel. That's funny. Oh yeah, no, a 525 kg just pulling 1,000 pounds. Wouldn't it be better for the Russians to make the remains of 404 into an unlivable wasteland of the bother occupying? No, it's a breadbasket of the world, dude. It's always good to control food. It's always good to control mineral resources. There's also a ton of gas in the Black Sea. So no, I think that keeping 404 economically viable and conquering most of it and absorbing it into the Russian Federation will do fantastic things for Russia. Personally. Bro. I mean, I like the upfrontness of it, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. If you want to, I mean, you can pretty much piece it together if you follow me on Instagram or something, which not hard to find, also public. It's not like I hide my physique or anything like that. I did bodybuilding as 50 Shades of Scott. Oh shit, boys. Oh, that's an idea. Yeah. I think I could probably make that book work. Will you travel to Ukraine after the war? Will people recognize you? I'm sure not. I would get recognized by 6 people in every country around the world. That's you guys. That's my audience. I have a whatever your country's population is in 6 or 6 and whatever chance of actually meeting somebody who knows me. Yeah, books to be read on top of the dryer. Exactly. Oh, Thor ripped his chest, did he? What was he? Was he benching or something? Didn't he just pull like a new record deadlift? I didn't see that. Was there a sit rep earlier for Ukraine? No, I haven't done I did a short one. You could go back and you can look for the map section. I did a short one, but I'm going to be posting a full map update video tomorrow. So Brainwash smut for dumb women. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Sarah. That is it. Now you are getting it. My target audience right there is just brain rot smut for retarded people. Yes, Sarah. Sarah, I like you. You're getting it. You're with us. One of us. One of us. Scott, what the idea you and Sarah for huh? I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding your question there. What's the idea you and Sarah for? Maybe if you could rewrite that question, I might answer it. What have I joined? A good conversation, my friend. A good conversation. We're here for a good time, not a long time, boys. You'd have a bounty on you as soon as you enter Ukraine? Yeah, but so what, dude? So what? If I get killed for my ideas, I think that means that I won and I was right. And I'm pretty sure I can die happy knowing that. And also, if I was going to die in some sort of violent way like that in Ukraine, it would be like a car bomb or like a shooting, like an assassination. Both of those pretty quick. I think I can deal with those. I've always said I want to get like killed by a shark or lightning or an alligator. I want to definitely, I don't know if I want to get killed by like a car bomb or a shooting. I definitely want to feel myself die. Like, I know people say they want to fall asleep. They want to fall asleep in their bed and die. No, I want to feel it. I want to know that I'm dying, and I want to be like, oh, this is what dying feels like. That's why everybody made it like a centerpiece of like literature and movies and stuff. Like, oh, this is what dying is. But I'm unique in that way, guys. I like to feel it. I like to feel the real world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could be Arthur Calibrated Morgan Ukraine edition. Cool way to go out. Do you mean Arthur Morgan from like Dexter? Is that what you're referring to? Look what they did to Gonzalo. Yeah, no, Gonzalo got thrown into a prison and succumbed to sickness in prison, torture, whatever, whatever happened to him. Yeah, so don't die, Scott. We're about to achieve mortality. Look up Brian Johnson. Oh man, mortality sounds so lame though. Like if we're about to be uploaded or something, or I would have to look up what Brian Johnson's talking about exactly. Is he talking about like some miracle thing where you live forever or being uploaded? Because I just don't know if I'm about it. I kind of like the limitations of it all. You should do Calibrated and live in front of an audience. Millions must attend. Why not? You are a masochist. I don't know if I'm a masochist. It's not like I enjoy some pains. Yeah, sure. If your adrenaline's going and something happens, I kind of enjoy that pain, but I wouldn't say that I'm a masochist. Like I don't seek out pain as pleasure, but I do just want to know what it feels like to just die. Like, could you imagine just getting ripped apart by something? Like getting eaten like butt first by a bear or like stomach first? I always say that because they literally will just like step on you and start eating you whatever's available. And I always thought like dying to a polar bear or something like that would be just insane. I got bit by my dog the other day and it was like a baby bite. It was like nothing. And it fucked my arm up, dude. It fucked my arm up so bad. But I can't even imagine what getting bit by a gator would be like, or getting like hit by a paw of a bear and just having your whole face like taken off. That'd be insanity. Oh, Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption. That makes sense. I wasn't even thinking. What? How? I'm not gonna front, guys. Doesn't he die with TB or TB? Doesn't he cough himself to death? I haven't finished the game. I played through it a little bit, but then I didn't finish it. Do I have another job other than YouTube? Yes, of course. Guys, I don't make enough money doing this to survive. I do this for fun mostly. I do this for entertainment. I like to do this. I like to make these videos. I like to come on here and talk to you guys. So, yeah, first biological immortality, and then having everything turned into a machine piece by piece. Sick, dude. Sick. I don't know. I feel like that's for the birds. Maybe the Zillennials or the Gen Z guys. They'll be about that. But for me, nah, Scott bleeding out in a drug lab while having baby blue playing in the ears the way to go out. Yeah, that also would be a fire way to go out on the top of your kingpin empire, just bleeding out Scarface style. Yeah, that's acceptable. I would take that. It's okay. Live calibrated from Riyadh. Dude, that blood money. Ooh, give me that blood money. Ooh, give me that Riyadh blood money, please. Oh yeah, sports is literally masochism, I guess, technically. What drink is what? This? Well, it's a Miami's Dolphins cup, which the Dolphins suck. But I've just had this cup in my house for forever. And it's water. And then this is energy, like Mio Energy caffeine. Very good. Very good. You're gonna play GTA 6. It's not coming out. So yeah, I'll play it when it never comes out, dude. I'm sorry if I missed some of your guys's that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's literally a Cyberpunk 2027 scenario. Yeah, replacing all of yourself with mechanical bits. Preston Stewart has almost 1,000 or 1 million subs and does nothing but lying. Yeah, no, they all do. Literally every pro-Ukrainian account. Well, they can't. Here's the thing: is that you say that they're lying, but if they tell the truth, they get eviscerated by the pro-Ukrainian community. Ask AMK. He's in here. Hey, AMK, can you tell the audience how well telling the truth how far telling the truth has got you with your community? Go ahead. Oh wait, it's a delay, short delay. Let the man type. We'll see what he puts in. Actually, you cannot even theoretically transfer your mind to a robot as much as your brain activity as a result of biochemistry. Shut up, dude. I'll upload my brain wherever I want. I will stick a thumb drive into the side of my ear and I will upload that mother onto whatever CPU I want to. Biochemistry. Basic biochemistry. Shut up. I'm going to upload my brain. Do you have fans of Ukraine in your family? I think you mentioned something. No, I don't. Nope. I don't. I have members of my family who are very politically inclined that I talk to about stuff. I have members of my family that are less politically inclined, but coming around to different things. But no, I don't have anybody who's like pro-Ukrainian or I don't. I argue with my family, even though they agree with me on most things. So not the one Scott was singing. Oh, sorry. I sang the wrong song. Oh, it's the song when Arthur dies in Red Dead. Gotcha. I only got okay. So here's AMK responding to that thing I said earlier. I only got doxxed 3 times, had people commenting about me for over a year, and had my computer hacked once. So that's what happens when you tell the truth in the pro-Ukrainian community. I also got doxxed. I wasn't hiding, but I got doxxed. Haven't got my computer hacked, thankfully. I remember that when that happened to you. And Yeah, I've had some stuff happen, but AMK, you're just so isolated. Somebody has to like plan a trip to come and get you, like a nice trip. They have to be like, I'm gonna land on the South Island, and then I'm gonna go to the North Island, or if you're on the South Island, go land on the North Island, go to the South Island. I'm gonna do a couple of day trips here and there, check out some stuff, the cave worms, go check out some sulfur pits or something, hit the beach, and then I'm gonna go murder AMK. Like that's what they have to do. They have to like make a whole vacation out of it. So I'm pretty sure you're good, dude. You're good. You self-isolated properly. Yes, stay safe, AMK. I did an internet wipe of me before the first docs. I had a feeling it would happen. He got rid of all of the really bad stuff, guys. So if anybody wants to do some deep dives on AMK and figure out what he deleted, I'm sure he had some weird armband on and he was posing weird or something. Oh, man. There's realistically like 3 places you can be from New Zealand: Christchurch, Auckland, and Wellington. That's not true. That's not true. That's kind of true, but no. No. You could be on a farm outside of one of those places. Better than Scott Ritter's docs. That's true. That's true. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. The only thing that they could find that was a gotcha was my book. Yeah. By the way, MK is a published author of a short story. I read it. It's okay. Okay, guys. That's where I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out for this casual calibration. The last 30 minutes were definitely put the K in casual for sure. Take care. Be safe. I will see you guys later on this week for another live stream. I'm probably going to do one on Thursday. I always say that and then I never do it, but I'm planning on doing another one on Thursday. So tune in on Thursday and we will go over news and we can just chat about what the hell ever we want to chat about. Take care, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Goodbye.